Good morning from Palermo again. We
Good
are
morning.
now in front of the Teatro Massimo,
On the Piazza Verdi.
and this is the meeting point for the anti-mafia tour, which we're going to take today through Palermo city and learn a lot about the mafia.
And the cliches and the facts and the fictions about it.
And we will take you with us.
And the No Mafia tour starts here at the Teatro Massimo. This is a very symbolic place actually for this tour, because if you've seen the movie Il Padrino #3, The Godfather #3, the final scene actually plays on the stairs of this theater. So this theater actually is a symbol of mafia, and this is something that the city of Palermo wants to fight to change the image of the city.
So actually 8 years ago, a group of people wanted to open a shop here in Palermo, and the finance guy of the group said, what if we would not pay protection money to the mafia? And from that idea, the whole organization of not paying protection money was born. They collected signatures of people in the streets if they want to support this movement, and got more than 3,000 signatures. And after having these 3,000 signatures, they said, now we have to talk to the shopkeepers and see if we can get some shopkeepers also into this organization. And they found around 1,000 shopkeepers. And starting with this, they were a huge network which were working together and also protecting each other. And then the shopkeepers starting to put a sticker about not paying protection money on the shop windows. And that's how the whole idea was born, to fight against the mafia, which is still very present. And actually 80% of the shops here in Palermo, also in Sicily, are paying the protection money to the mafia, which is quite a lot.
And mafia actually is not a thing that's hanging somewhere in the mountains of Sicily. Mafia is basically organized crime, and organized crime has to be fought, and it's not just something that happens between the business owners and the mafia. It's something that touches all the population, the whole population, because when you buy services from a company that pays protection money, your money is going to the mafia. So that's why this Addiopizzo, buy protection money movement was so successful amongst the population, because the population understood that they are part of the problem too.
And we will put a link in the video description if you come to Palermo or Sicily, where you will find all the shops which are not supporting the mafia. And if you want to support them, you might go there to eat, drink, shop, whatever you want to do.
So the idea of the protection money for the mafia is actually not to collect money, because they have enough money from the trafficking and all that. The idea of the protection money is to exert power on business owners, so to show them whose rule are here and who can say whatever they want. So the power and the fear is the most important thing in this whole protection money system. We're here in the courtyard of the Justice Palace of Palermo, and this is a very symbolic place because this is the place that showcases the resistance of the Sicilians to the mafia. This is also the place where the names of the judges Borsellino and Falcone are written. These two mafia investigators who were brutally killed by the mafia in the 80s. A very symbolic place for the Sicilians for the fight against mafia. So then the question arises, what can you as an individual to do against the mafia? So we were given a few hints, especially here in Palermo. Do not buy the fridge magnets showing a mafiosa or a mafiosi, because this is romanticizing the whole movement, which is basically a criminal, cruel movement. Also, there's a story about Beati Paoli from the Middle Ages, that the whole organization is based on that sort of holy movement that were trying to help the poor. This is absolutely not true. The organization remains a highly criminal organization. The anti-mafia tour has now reached the Catholic Church, the Cathedral of Palermo, and this is a very good metaphor because there is a question about the connection between the Catholic Church and the mafia organization. Now, it was only in 1994 that the Pope Jean Paul II made a clear line between the Catholic Church and the mafia. Before that, the relationship was a little bit blurry. There were even some bishops here in Sicily who were blaming the journalists who were reporting on mafia that they are blackmailing or black painting the island and making tourists not to come, and saying that mafia doesn't exist. So only in 1994, Pope John Paul II, who was visiting the island, said at the end of his mass that you mafia people, please convert, otherwise you will not belong in the Church of God. And that sort of symbolically made the clear line between the Catholic Church and the mafia. What happens today, it's not perfectly clear, but at least officially the Catholic Church is against the mafia. In the middle of the square, like you saw in the last vlog on Palermo, there is the patron saint of Palermo, the Rosalina, and every year there's a procession, a celebration where they carry the statue of this patron saint. And in 2014, I think, the organization Addiopizzo was chosen to carry this patron saint who freed Palermo from the plague. So it's a symbolical act to show that the Addiopizzo organization is trying to free Sicily from the plague of mafia.
And during our visit here in Palermo, we have also met a few people, like followers on Instagram or other friends, and nobody is happy, and everybody is complaining about the new government and saying that the new government is really bad for Italy. For example, now they are just bringing up a law which they hope it will not go through, because confiscated property from the mafia bosses will be able to be bought by private persons without proving that they are not involved into the mafia. And of course, who's going to buy the properties back? The mafia people, because they have the money to buy the property. So they hope that the president is not going to sign this new law.
Just walked by a project that the No Mafia organization here has to open a museum, an anti-mafia museum, and it will soon open. Hopefully when you come to Palermo it is open. And one thing you might notice when you come from Palermo airport to the city, on the right hand side on the hill there's a white building that has No Mafia written on it. That very building was the place where the mafiosi pulled the trigger that made the bomb explode that killed Judge Falcone on the highway in 1992. So we at least saw that building. We didn't know what it was, but that was actually the place where the mafiosi were acting to kill Judge Falcone. The tour is coming towards the end here at the La Calza district, and we are here on a square that used to house the buildings where Judge Falcone's family was living. This area was destroyed during the war, and this area was very run down until a few years ago. That was a very dodgy and scary area, and now it has come alive through restaurants, bars and cultural projects. And the Addiopizzo organization actually collected money from people and asked the people of the area what they would do with that money. And they built that playground that you can see at the back for kids, which is a sort of a place for inclusion. Poor kids from other neighborhoods also come here to play with the kids of this neighborhood. And this place has never been vandalized since it's been open for 3 years now. So this was our Addiopizzo tour, no mafia tour in Palermo. It's a very interesting tour and shows that mafia is still there. There is a certain movement that you can feel that the young generation especially is saying enough. They don't want to deal with that anymore. On the other hand, there is also a new generation or a young generation of mafiosi that have gone to the best universities in the world with the money that the mafia has, and now are doing financial transactions with the money that the mafia has. So the mafia organization is also professionalizing a lot. And also this Addiopizzo movement is only happening in Palermo. Now they have a branch in Catania as well on Sicily. But on the other regions of Italy, like in Puglia or Calabria, with the Ndrangheta in Calabria, they do not have this organization yet, and the mafiosi structures in these regions are also very, very powerful. Thank you for watching this more original and dramatic episode of The Way We Saw It in Sicily, in Palermo. We will put the link of the shops that are part of the Addiopizzo movement in Palermo. If ever you're here, you can choose those businesses. You can also put the thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. Safe travels always. Bye.